And a little bit early, we are streaming. Hello, hello, hi. Nice to see the formalities are being kept to. It's always nice to see, to just know who's around, so huzzah. Right, we have 4 people currently waiting, so we're not going to waste time. We're going to go straight into a game, because we are here and we are ready, and it is time for Tiles of Confusion. Hope nobody's caught out by that. So it'll be interesting if Mono says around. He was talking about taking a break from the game, which I've certainly been in that situation before, so that's fine if he wants to do that. But it will be interesting to see if he's back. If he's not, then it's our opportunity to try and close the gap, though it is 179 points. And if Prospero is on the same form he was on last week, that's going to be a really tall order. Hey, Rumi. Right. We have an okay start. Let's toss for 9 and see what happens. Yes, should be able to get a reasonably quick dealer repeat out of this. If we're very fortunate, we might be able to get ourselves up to Sanchku. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. Immediately toss for... Your draw of a 9 we just tossed. Perfect. That's fine. Hello, Sailor. One of these I will make it an official rule of my streams to just have people say hello when they appear, because it's always nice to know who's around. But hey, well, I must get rid of South here. So we're technically, well, not East Shanten. We're still 2 away regardless of what we're doing here, but we've got other options now. Potentially upgrading this to Toy, potentially. Okay, East Shanten, Sananko, Red Dragon would be quite interesting. Hey, Chasing. Nice to have you here. Wow, this is a fast start. Alright. Reach, Chun, Sananko, potentially. If not, it's just reach only if I get this off somebody else. But hey, might as well go for the value at this point. No reason not to first hand. The dragons are likely going to be stuck in somebody's hand, though, based on the fact that nobody's played them. I'm just going to have to hope that we can draw it. 6 is unlikely to be played, although that is a live 5 right after this, when I've had no Sozu indicators whatsoever. So, yeah. Interesting. Yarok still playing the absolute gung-ho Mahjong we know him for. Downside is with my discards as well, it kind of indicates I'm in some form of Sozu weight, and being a middle tile, it's unlikely. So, hopefully we will sumo this, because Sananko and Reach plus 1. Mungan, potentially Baiman if we can hit a triplet. No, actually I don't think we can hit Baiman. Chun and self-drawn would be Baiman, I think. Alright, put a Suji out. I doubt that's going to matter, but somebody can play a 6 on that basis. Either way, we're going for a sumo here, really. Otherwise, it's just no value. Oh, he's tempted. Okay, Rise wasn't tempted. I assume it's Rise just because he's the most likely person to be able to call it, given he can call sequences and runs as well. So, well, triplets and sequences. And we discarded the 3 means both of these 2 are playing safe. It's only really Yarok who's still going to charge at this one. Will he play a Red Dragon out of turn, though? Might even be that because both of them have definitely folded now, they might have both got a red in their hands, which you can't play on this board. Nope, Yarok wants to attack. That's got more chance of a 6 coming out then. Potentially gives the other 2 more things to be worried about here, but we'll see. Sumo. Reach Sumo Sananko. Did we hit any Ura? No. That's not going to say no to a deal Mungan from the start of the game. So, 16,000 lead. Can we maintain it? Not as good as my last starting hand, but then it's a bit greedy to expect to get 2 good ones in a row. Alright, follow up. Dooby-doo, doo-doo-doo. Get rid of the one here. So high end, I guess we're talking Sanshikyu again. There's a possibility here. Most likely we're just looking to pair one of these two and go work with repeat hand. Hopefully draw something connected to the 5 dots so we don't have to discard it. Yarok again seems to be forcing a 1-suit hand from his initial discards. He might not be, but he does have a tendency to do that based on what we have observed of him thus far. That is also a great draw right now. We're going to go 8-6 rather than get rid of East here because it's still alive and it is a bonus tile for everyone. Give it another turn cycle, see if anybody wants to risk it. Might be inclined to play it next turn. We'll see. There's always a chance we can draw a pair of them. Okay, one's not helping. Okay, Prospero reaching. So that means East is out. We might as well play the 8 from our hand. We're not entirely out of this, it being an early reach. We might be able to work around it. 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. Rice has played a lot of low Sozu, so I imagine the pair of 1s is actually fine. So that's our safety valve if we need it. 1 Hatsu. That's probably safe as well. We can't force it at this point. So yeah, we're throwing the safety valve. And deal again? Ooh. I mean, it's not impossible that he's on something with that. That could easily be just to open up a 2-2-3 in his hand to become a 1-4 weight. But that was our best indicator, and obviously we would have seen more pausing on the 3-2-4 discard if you have that kind of thing. And Yarok is dealt in. It is a Mungan. Is it better than that? 2 Uradura says yes, it is. So I score a 12,000 hand. Prospero immediately returns with a 12,000 hand, and he is still in form. We might have this. This might be a quick game over here. And this is a great starting hand. Well, we'll see. I think we might end up on a pair weight for this regardless, but we'll see. So draw a closed one there, draw the pair of that, we're on a 8-pin weight, basically, for Tudora. And given the point values, that might actually be good enough. Unfortunate, but we weren't tossing with Aura Dragon there. You're either going to gain a Aura Dragon weight, or we're going to draw a pair of them and go somewhere else. Drawing a pair of them would be absolutely awesome for us right now, but we'll see. Alright, Yarok's on the quick attack. Cancels for 9-pin here. So 2 away, but this gives us a few options in the middle dot tiles if the hand develops that way. And allows us to keep the Ipeiko. Awkward. I'm almost inclined to keep the 1-3. I'm almost inclined to keep the 1-3-5 over the 3-5-7. We're not really getting, because we can't get rid of this. There's no point in us going for a Tanya style thing, which would normally be 3-5-7 in that position. But also, with one middle Sozu set called out of a Sozu hand means it's probably a Tanyo or Tanyo bonus style hand. It's probably better to get rid of the more dangerous tiles first. I think we're going to go 7 from our hand here. Prospero played one on me a few turns ago. It's not great for us, really. We'd prefer to... we'd prefer a middle dot tile that wasn't one of the 4 to 7, because now that means if we draw another one, that's going to put us potentially through a 10. But Prosper's on south, so Prosper is looking for a quick hand to try and take the lead, which definitely his benefit. Ah, yep, I see you in the queue. So if we do get another game ready, we will start that off. I'm going to just play my pair of 7s here. Partially safety play here, but the consideration we've got to have is that we are probably not going to be able to play this White Dragon, and with the way the game is going, 2 calls against us. Okay, so Prospero has made the call into Tenpai. He would not be dropping that if he wasn't for Tenpai, because it's the live tile, so we'll take advantage of that. But unfortunately, have drawn another potentially dangerous live tile. We might actually be folding against Prospero here. A dot genuinely wasn't helpful for us, but we might genuinely be out here. The good news is he's non-dealer, showing 2 Han. He could have a Honitsu. In fact, he probably does have a Honitsu based on that, which would get into Mungan. But as long as we avoid that, we should at least keep second. It's looking like it should be a Hellweight. You shouldn't really be going for it, I've got to be honest. Ooh, that's a surprise. It's not a honey. Okay. So it was South Dora only. So it's cheap. There was always the chance it would be, and I'm glad we kept the East on that basis, because that would have bumped it up to free Han and would have overtaken. But you always expect the worst when you're in a tight battle for the lead. Because if you do deal in for 2,000 points, it's far better than, you know, giving somebody a Mungan from an obvious hand. Alright. So now our closest rival is the dealer. We are tossing our own wind early, but actually somebody else wants to call it, which means that it wasn't good for us anyway. Yeah, I do have a habit of just throwing out my wind before getting rid of tiles that are useful for everyone. But hey, that was a good draw. Pair of 9s means we can't really go for Tanyo, but we might be able to force a quick Pinfu out of this. Potentially Pinfu Sanchiku. A lot of hands can become Sanchiku, but it very rarely comes off. At this point, just any hand to knock Prosper off the dealer button is probably a good one. Okay, so we might now be in a position to cut the pair of 9s. If we can get something more useful here, we've got a probable pair out of these, so... with no other context, the usual pattern is you discard whatever is to your left first. So basically, in this position, my priority order is south, east, north for getting rid of loose honor tiles. The reasoning for that is, if you discard south and they call it, you immediately get another draw. So that minimizes, that actually increases your number of draws. It's only a marginal plus, but you look for marginal pluses when you do that sort of thing. Obviously, there's other considerations. Is it your bonus wind? Is it a bonus win for everybody or a bonus win for you? Is it safe? Is it Fedora? There's a number of factors in that, but generally speaking, yeah, with no other things considered, you play left, across, right. Seat wins first. Good evening. How are you doing? We're nearly at Tenpai here, and it might actually be one we're going to go for. South has been played. I mean, the argument with this is that obviously these are bonus stars to everybody, so arguably they're more dangerous to hold on to for later. The West is only likely to be dealt in an unusual circumstance. They won't be holding the West for many reasons, usually. They won't be trying for them anyway. They probably get rid of those early because, again, they don't need them. The only person it's useful to is you, so it's safer to keep it. I'm wondering if I want to just force a Tanyo here. I'm gonna force. My logic on forcing this is that we do want to get Prosper out, and we got 2 safe tasks to do that. Almost. That was a free... No, I wouldn't have been able to do it from a free, but... Slightly concerned that Yarok's playing a bunch of middle tiles, though. It's harder to read him in an odd sort of way, which is not, it's not great, but it's a little difficult to read at times, because he does play very aggressively and very erratically. Well, he was. Obviously, there was a 4-3 there, which is an indicator of that kind of tempi, but there was no way you could necessarily call that. One call playing middle tiles, probably considering tempi with that, but again, he's a beginner player, and sometimes that does lead you to underestimate things. Either way, that has achieved the objective, getting Prosper out the dealer button. Now it's just a case of moving the game on and trying to secure this win. 3,700 is nowhere near enough to be able to start playing cautiously. But we're 18k above Rise, so we're at least not at too much risk of falling below second. Okay, we're giving Prospero a Yaku high, but that's fine. It's good to know these things early, but also potentially limits his hand to something reasonably cheap. Or if it isn't reasonably cheap, it's obvious. And oftentimes, when you're in a tight battle in tight points gap like this, knowing what type of hand he could be going for the value and knowing what to be wary of is massively advantageous. We see one East. We are in the last East round, so... Again, it is a bonus tile for everybody, but one's been played, so we can afford to get rid of it in this position. I don't know if we want to force Vitanio here, but it's probably the best thing to do in terms of where the hand is. 4, 5, 6 Sanch Q as the upper end of what this hand could get to. But again, it gives us a quick Tanyo to become dealer as an option. Just want to be cautious about what Prospero is doing. We can throw 2 here. So we're 2 away at this point. If we make the 8-man, 2-man pass, then that is Tempai. There was a pause on the 3. So Prospero has low Manzu, or somebody has a triplet of freeze. So that low 2 is mostly just because we identified that as potentially dangerous. I'm going to go for this. So we have Tanya Sanchku open 2,000 points, plus potentially Tudor if the actual 6 does come out. Yarok is also potentially crazy enough to play that. Oh, we're not crazy enough to play this against him, though. The 5 is annoying. It is a Suji to his 8, but... And he has played the 2. Double Suji. Yeah, we'll take it. Double Suji, Tempai. 3-6. But he looks to be on a Honitsu, which is a Ton Chinitsu. That's a Chinitsu, it's the absolute worst. Dealer Chinitsu is minimum 12,000 points, likely higher. He's played all those. He's also got a triplet of 7s. If he's on that, he's done extremely well. 3-6 is also unlikely to be played by anybody, but yeah, what can you do? That is rather bad. 8 played by Rise. They might also be playing safety. Yeah, Rise is playing safety. Prospero could be playing safety as well against 2 calls, which it makes sense. You see 2 calls, you got to assume Tempai. Oh, that's a really bad draw for us right now. Okay, so what's the absolute worst here? He has Tanya Dora free. Mangan. For the 2nd. End up in a battle for 3rd. Okay. That answers the question. I shouldn't have done that. We still shouldn't have done that. We won, but we shouldn't have done that. Given that the board state, the only thing that could have happened for me really is that I lost. Interestingly, if that was his tile, then his card meant he didn't draw it. No, actually, sorry, the ordering would have been different. Because it went from my position to his position, so that would have actually, Rise would have drawn that in the normal sequence of things. Actually, have I got that right? Oh, I don't know. I'll work it out later. Either way, yeah, that was a mistake. Absolute. Dead to rights. I should not have discarded Vidora in that position. Because even best case scenario, somebody else had the pair of sixes, then that just puts them in the game. That gives Prosper a reason to go for a hand. It gives Rise a reason to go for the hand. And I was leading anyway, so I didn't need to force it. Let's play south. It's a bit of an interesting one here. Oh, that's a great draw. Okay, Ishanten. Potentially on a three-sided weight. So, if we pair up either of these, then what we're basically in is a 2-5 and the pair. So we're in a three-sided 2-5 pair weight. Or we go this way round. We potentially are still in the 2-5 or 2-5 dragon weight, but also we have the potential just standard Pinfu-ish style weight. But this is potentially game winning at this point. We're 62 up. If we win this, we will be at least 18k in the lead. Oh, also we have another game ready. So Solar, Karma, Chiral, Larry, get ready to begin. Yeah, this is looking quite good. I've got no objections with this at the moment. Oh, that's awkward. I could try and cut the dragons, but there's always the chance somebody else has got a pair of them. So we can't use that, really. Just a shame, because, I mean, normally I would consider cutting the dragons here and go for a Pinfu Dora. But, we'll see. We're still Ishanten. I wonder if Prospero is risking a draw here for... He's either risking a draw or he's risking a dragon, I think, if he's pausing this long. He has a hand. It's probably Mungan, but it's a risky discard. Thought would be a risky discard against him now if he decides to go for it, actually. Could have kept that free and been safer later. I don't think he's there yet. Not if he's and it's possible somebody was on south, but okay, we now have the 8 we can draw for Tenpai as well. So if we can draw 8 so, we can draw 5 so. We draw the green dragon. 2's been played, so that's fine. So we do have to be aware of what Rise is doing. 6 is safe to discard against him, which is good. 4 was safe a couple of turns ago. Question is he on a dragon weight or is he on something? Yeah, Sumo's, but it's cheap. Dora dragon. Okay. So it leaves 1,000 points, but I'm actually perfectly fine with that. A little unfortunate, but you know, you can't expect to get every hand. Yep. Somebody's discarded my wind, therefore I will have to follow suit. Alright, Yarok's trying to attack. Scap's only 57, so it's not big enough that I'm currently considering that we're safe for anything here, but we can probably... I mean, the thing is, we're in the best position at the moment. If you're in the lead, you are, by extension, in the best position. The onus is on Prospero to pick up points, or myself to try not to lose them. We have a Chinitsu as a possibility here. That might be greedy. That might actually be the right call, though, given that I've drawn nothing but Manzu since we started. I think I need one more to be really confident about going with this, because really, if you consider what we can call a 6 or a 9, and we're still a bit awkward. But we'll go for it. Also, the last 9 is gone, so we can't get that. So 9 is pretty much established to be our pair. Might have been worth calling a triplet there instead. But, alas, we started now, so we shall carry on. Oh, Prospero's DQ'd, disconnected, so we're going to pause. Wait for him to get back. Mono, you've appeared in the chat. I thought you were taking a vacation, sir. Well, then don't discard it. I mean, grand practice is if you don't want to discard something, you don't have to. And if you're hearing me say that, you probably shouldn't listen to my advice right now, because that would mean you are technically cheating. I'm not going to curse you for taking a vacation. I think Kyril was the one who was trying to egg you into doing it. Personally, whichever way it goes... Oh, no, it was Rise. It was Rise, sorry. Rise was the one who was assuming that that was going to happen. Alright, well, give Prospero a couple more minutes. What I might do, depending on how the other game goes and how quickly that resolves itself, I might shuffle the tables around. I mean, there's some truth to that, in all honesty. Well, it's fine. He can sit out, and I'll eventually climb above him. It's fine. If I can keep the top string of top 2 finishes, or rather my string of not finishing lasts going, I might be able to just do it. Although it's the slow climbing mountain method of rising up the rankings rather than just win games, draw the right tiles, win. Oh, I don't want to unpause this with Prospero still out, but we'll give him a chance here. Let's just quickly throw open the Discord here. Yeah, he's okay. Crash turn to reboot. That's fine. We'll give him time for that. Your flow points are low. You have 7 wins out of your 12 matches, sir. You have a 58.3% win ratio at the moment. Well, yes, we can argue that's a small sample size. That's still massive, really. The end point is basically end of the year. I basically do these on a yearly basis, kind of. So, yeah. Various stacked things. The only time it's been disrupted is when I had my own Mahjong meltdown, so... Yeah, this started in first one after the January, and we'll do a long session. We'll do a long session last Friday of the year, or whenever I decide to arbitrarily end it in December. Somebody can't have to pay attention, absolutely. But yeah, this will be reset come January when we start the 2021 thing. I think interesting stuff's going on in the other table. We can't go, Urok. We're still waiting on Prospero to get back. He has sent me a message, so it's not. I'm not going to restart without him. If you hadn't done any, if you hadn't sent me a message, I probably would have just restarted by now. But now we'll give him time. I mean, it's the sort of thing that you can sort of climb up. The basic rules on the point scoring is basically the 0 is the floor. So you never go below 0 points, regardless how many negatives you have stacked up in a row. And then it's just a case of trying to build up points to climb the rankings. 2 good wins can get you into the hundreds easily. 2 very good wins could get you into the 200s if you absolutely bust people out. But it's holding on to those points that's the tricky bit. A Dragon Dora is probably more an indicator of value rather than necessarily a Tenpai, but it is something you have to pay attention to. Yeah, 12 games will get you into 4th, and he lost 4. He lost his last 2. I mean, honestly, it's up and down. As long as you keep winning, you will keep rising up the rankings. As long as you finish top 2, you'll probably keep going. If you can play all these games and just not finish 4th, you'll probably be towards the top end. My problem is that I keep winning games and then I keep losing games. And then I have several games where nothing happens. Mono went through 2 sessions in a row of just being unbeatable, going up to about a 600 score, putting a 300 gap to everybody, and I just failed to get any results during that period. Actually, where's the score tracker? Let's see if we can find his heyday. Yeah, just scrolling this out. We're about match 47 onwards here. Just positive score after positive score after positive score after positive score. Finally losing a few. More wins. 80 points. More scores. More scores. More positive scores. Yeah, I'm just looking at line 12 for Mono here in terms of this. But yeah. By the way, this is match technically 98 and 99 being played at the moment. Well, I would rock out to them as well, but that would unfortunately mean that this would be demonetized. And I need my pennies. I need my YouTube pennies. I think I'm gonna have to restart this in about a minute here. It's been about 10 minutes since he sent that message, so I really don't want to though, because this Prospero is on a massive run of form, and if I restart the game, then it's highly likely I'm just gonna win this out of that. I don't really want to win that way if I can avoid it. Because I was looking into a tight battle for second here, just trying to dodge his weights and whatever else, but he does need to be here for that. Oh wait, he's back! He's back! He returns. Hold on. Okay. Game resuming. If White Dragon had a couple left, maybe I'd be able to deal with this a bit more. Unfortunately, I've kind of committed to only a Chinitsu here, but we're now up against that. This is going to get increasingly awkward now. Yeah, I think we fold. I don't see this being the correct decision here to go for this. Sandra Freeman is saved to a 7 Dora. Please. Yep. No, I've had moments like that. Yeah, we're not going to go in. We're not going to push the Shinichi here. The 4-6 are too dangerous against what he's played. He's literally played one Sozi tile, the 7, which would indicate around that is probably dangerous anyway. So, yeah. Yeah, we're just going to follow up with one man here. I would love somebody to play a Forso though, because that is a Suji, but it's not obvious. And the one's been played recently, but I don't really want to risk it. Well, now we might have to. Nope. Okay. So let's reach in with the Dora tile, and that happened to be what he was waiting on. So reach Chun and Dora 2. Sorry, oh, sorry. No, there wasn't a reach involved. No, Chun and multiple Dora. So this means it's now extending my lead here. So 2 to go. And I have a 13k lead. So now I can afford to play out of this or just go for aggressively the cheap hands. We also have 2 Dora in this hand. Yeah, I'm going to go aggressive. A little bit running away, but also, you know, we can potentially go for this. If we can pair this up, then that pretty much means I was correct. This might have been committing early. Good draw. Okay. So ideally drawing another Friso would be lovely, because that would give us the two-sided thing for that. Nice. Got what we wanted. Now it's just whether we can complete that red dragon or not, really. Okay, 1 from Tenpai. Fortunately, it's a Yakuless Tenpai. Actually, no, it might not be. 2-3-4 Sanchiku. We could potentially clinch a 2-3-4 Sanchiku Dora Dora. But we would need... But nobody to call that. Alright. We have Tenpai waiting on the Forso. Open Sanchiku to Dora. And if a dragon does get played, we can switch to a Dora to a 2 free weight. Although admittedly one of those has been played, so falling off for safety. Yarokon might be... I don't know. That doesn't seem like a safety play necessarily, but... Well, let's get it be against that. Oh, reach with that. Okay. This might be awkward then. 4, I can't play against him. Oh, that's really awkward of you, Prospero. Alright. Let's think about this. It's the Apatsu round. 1's not necessarily safe, but it's definitely going to be safer than the 4, so... Oh, I'm not happy with that. Alright, so now we're committing into Dragon, and that is a counter reach. Seven was the reach tile, but might not be safe to rise. Okay. That was risk management, I think, there, but that was a really bad pursuit reach from Rise. I was expecting that to be at least 4,000 a free hand, but that's fine. We couldn't afford to put deal into Prospero because he was far closer in points. That would have meant this all last would have actually been required, but it was definitely correct to not go for the Sanchiku in that position. Okay, so we have a lead of 16,000 going into the last hand. We can afford to deal into just about anybody as long as it's not significant. But All that does give rise, though, I suppose, is it moves the game on one move, but he still needs to pick up another win to get there. That's why I assumed it was going to be about 4,000 if I got into his rise. Mind you, 7 was the only tile I had to play. I had in that position whatsoever. Safe against one player is better than tiles that are dodgy to both. Okay. So we have a Dora, but it doesn't really matter given this is the last hand and we're in the lead. Other than, I guess, securing that somebody else doesn't have this, I guess. But that's only really significant if I draw another one. Speaking of which, there's another Dora. Although missing the red 5 in this case. And also red 5 up there, so we know where 3 of the 7 Dora are at this point, which is useful. We now know where 4 of the Dora tiles are because we just keep drawing valuable tiles right now. Okay. This luck. Okay, so we're going to cut the 1-2 here, just take a Tanya, which is going to be two-sided, potentially Sanjiku, and Dora free. Not, again, that Dora matters too much at this point of the game. Alright, Prospero with Pursuit Reach. So, 14k. If he's got a Mungan, that's not enough, even if we deal in. So, we've got a safe tile for turn 1. He didn't sumo. And obviously he's not the dealer, so this is probably one of the safest positions for us here, and that's probably to secure second. Looks like he sumoed. The Apatsu was a Mungan. Would have to be a Hanneman for him to overtake me, I think. No, just Mungan. So Prospero picks up second place with that. I should still have the lead. Yep, 347 to 313. And points. Okay, let's go and have a quick look at the other game, which has apparently been rather interesting. Alright, we just missed Solar's victory here. So, Nia Mungan exchange, Kyril dealing into Solar. Tight battle for the lead at this point, going into East 4. But that also means that the game's not likely to be over anytime soon, so we are looking to just start another one up. If it was looking like it was going to end soon, I'd have probably shuffled the tables around a bit. Alright, let's see who's ready for a game then. So we currently have Mono, Prospero, and Yarok currently queued up. I'm happy to join in here, but actually Rice has got there first, so I guess I'm going to let this game go, and then I'm going to commentate on another game. We're gonna get back to watching Kyril for a bit. And I will just queue up to the next game that happens. Okay. So currently observing behind Karma. We are going to have the hands open, but again, I'm mostly just going to focus on whoever I'm observing at this point. Normally I would follow the dealer, but this is just where we started. So, Karma has Dora Dragon in hand. Just having a quick glance around there. Larry and Solar are also stuck with Dora Dragons, so Kyril's looking good, unless he draws one as well. In which case, this could be a rapid ticket to pair weights only. But this is a tight game, so but nobody will want to play this, because in this kind of tight game, we're halfway through it. Nobody's... Well, Solar has cracked 30,000, but only just. So it's still a 30k game. Nobody has the advantage here, and one big hand is probably all that's going to be required to flip this round. So Kyril looks to have a good base for 7 pairs or Chitoitsu going on there. Does have 2 Dora as well, so can probably assume he's going to get a Mungan if he gets that. Solar has discarded really oddly to start with, but I can kind of see why based on his current hand. Again, though, he has that green dragon to get rid of. That camera has actually now finally unleashed on the table, so he's got rid of it early and has basically freed everybody else. He also looks to be going for a quick 7 pairs hand here, having just drawn the 5th. And actually, so is Chiral. So this is a 7 pairs off between Karma and Chiral going on right now. Karma has the added advantage, I guess, of being able to go Toy Toy Tanyo with this, which Chiral will just have Toy Toy Dora 2. So actually, Chiral slides. The advantage there actually comes with that. So, Ishanten and Ishanten for 7 pairs. 872 versus 955. So I'd say Karma is more favoured with weights at this point, or at least more likely to get it from other people's discards. You hope for Sumo anyway, you always do, and that's still something I'd have to work out, but... Oh, Karma draws the triplet. Now, will he go for triplets? I mean, generally speaking, what you always do in this situation when you draw a triplet is you accept it. Because your hand is not that far away from going up to Sananko or other scenarios. I mean, obviously now the Riichi has happened. Yeah, you need to fold this, I think. Just play the 8 dot. You already see an 8 dot, so that's fine. Chiral is actually waiting on a 5-man. The downside of his 7 pairs tiles versus yours is that you had far more tiles towards the edge. So if you'd have been 7 pairs waiting on the 8 of a 2, it was far more likely somebody would play that eventually. The middle 5s are always awkward, so he's hoping to eventually draw one. Obviously, it's not looking likely given that you've got 2 in your hand, so he's only got 1 out at this point. I mean, yeah, there is Fedora, so there's always that consideration of it. And your other option was that, so you really didn't have a lot of good options with that. It was still the best hand to go for. Just if you know you're going into 7 pairs early, it's always worth trying to consider trying to go for edge tiles where you can. But yeah, in my opinion, though, Karma would have kept that free and kept the possibility for triplets alive, because triplets generally more reliable. You can escape into Tanyo if you needed to. Especially as given most of your stuff was connected anyway, you had escape options. Still, for the moment, you're discarding safely, so yeah. It's just a case of whether Chiral draws that last 5 in him or not. And you're still drawing pairs. So you're back to Ishanten for 7 pairs here. I mean, if Chiral had actually not reached there and had committed to triplets, I mean, he's only got 2, I suppose, but... And you'd have got 2 as well, actually, come to that. You are now actually are committing to it. So now you got your Ishanten from Ipeiko Tanyo, which you can actually... No, you can't call for it, obviously, but... Additional options, always worth having. So, yep, 2, which again, you just discarded 1 of. Well, there's no indicator of 7 was safe. I'd have still been looking to potentially call that 8, given that that completes a run for you. But with the 7 unsure, yeah, you don't discarding that. Half Suji? 6 dot was a gamble. Three dot would also be a gamble, but it's going to be fine if you do that. No cuts to 4, which makes sense. Probably should have done that the turn before, actually. Meanwhile, yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, this is the thing. If you run out of thinking time, you have to play what you can. And yeah, this is why you try and play quickly early on, or at least use your 5 seconds to just buy yourself a little bit of breathing room. But hey, no, you play that fine. I mean, obviously opportunities were there to go for other things. Didn't happen. But you're up against a Riichi. Since he reached first, you were always going to be on the back foot with that one. Just unfortunate that the 2 hands were basically across from each other and basically identical. But hey, nobody won, so the gaps remain the same. The 30k game is still in existence. And we're going to follow Larry, who, again, we're following up a Dora Dragon hand with a Dora Dragon hand. Which have already been played, so... okay. So the Dora Dragons, people don't want to hold on to those. Fair enough. But in this situation, just because it was mentioned earlier, given your options of White Dragon, West, Green, I'd have got rid of West first, Green, and then probably White. Although, admittingly, that's the way around. That's probably means you're going to hold on to that white the longest. So maybe that's not correct. Kyril, though, has got another good start. He's already on 5 pairs. It might not be what he's considering to do with the hand, actually, given that he's got bonus tile pair as well, but we'll see. Dropped a pair. Yep. Always fun to drop an early pair when you're looking at 7 pairs. Never mind, it was definitely correct to get rid of that 4 at that point. Anyone else got anything dangerous looking at this? Solar's hand's looking okay. 2 Dora, but still not quite as quick as his other hands on the table. Kama is looking okay as well. 2 away, I think. Well then, GG. What? The game's over? Hold on. What has happened over here? Oh no, they've learned the Saki trick of silent reaches. Alright, we're going to follow Mono, because stuff has happened apparently in about 5 minutes' time. Possibly even in this hand. Oof. I assume the game's not just ended and he's still got some points left, although... It's still showing as active on my current list, that's all, but I guess we'll observe for a bit. So Prospero going for a quick attack again. Still, Prospero's been on amazing form here. This is going to be, if he does win this will be his 4th win in 5 matches. And actually, this is East 1, so he's just picked up a 77 off of Mono at this point. Yeah, so this is now going to be the Hanneman that he's about to deal into. Although, where's the Hanneman coming from here? Actually, I guess Rise could do it if he's going to reach with what he's got there. That could get him to that level. Yarok, potentially, although he's given his tempo of just West White. It doesn't seem like that's going to be it. Still developing at this point. Oh, actually, he's not tempo. He's actually I misread that for some reason as 678. That's actually Ishanten. So Rise has Ipeiko, 7 pairs. Okay, so that might be how he gets to Hanneman here. Maybe he's got 7 pairs Dora. Riichi 7 pairs Dora, maybe. Prospero's not quite there yet, but he could be given a couple of lucky draws. He could have Toy Toy Dragon Dora free, which would be Hanneman. Interesting. Prospero potential carnage, but he decides not to. Probably the correct move. Okay, Yarok's gone a little backwards here, but I'm seeing Honitsu as a potential option there, so that could be how he gets to there as well. Not going for the multi-pairs, going for a Tanya, which makes sense for Mono. Prospero has been dealt a white dragon, decides to half fold, or at least not throw the white just yet. Mono also holding Alive West for the same reason, even though one was just played. Interesting. Alright, reach across the table. So what we are looking at is a reach Honitsu waiting on West. Oh, that's a really mean deal if that's the one. Yeah. Because again, it's not... The only person who would realistically want that would be Rise. Reach Batsu Honitsu Dora. Yeah, I'd have done the same. I'm not sure why he didn't discard it the turn before, though. As again, Rise would be the only person who would normally, under normal circumstances, want it, and he just discarded one the turn before Mono drew it. Well, yeah, the way Rise had made that sound though is that it was the same hand, so I was hoping for a double Ron, but alas, that didn't happen. So we're gonna go back to the other game and just see where things are. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I saw that. That was unfortunate. Dodgeable, but unfortunate. So Kama has an interesting starting hand. Yep, going straight for the Honitsu here, which makes sense. If he gets lucky with picking up some monotiles here, he might be able to go for the Chanter side of things as well. South obviously being a bonus tile means he's got some freedom to call things. And also I'm just going to open up the hands again. And a pair of 8s. Did discard his own wind rather than the West at this point, but Kairos played one, so... Chanter, all outside hands. So basically a 1, a 9, or an honor tile in each of the sets. So I'm looking here at a triplet of the Souths, potentially 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. And then obviously additional pairs coming up here. Usually you don't go for Chanters, because while Tanyos are really common and really easy to get... And obviously now you've drawn that too, you wouldn't go for a Chanter with this anyway. You'd start using the runs you've already got. But yeah, now the Honix is more likely. It's something to consider. It's not something to aim for typically. And especially not now you've drawn the extra 4. Yeah, I mean, you don't aim for it, but you consider it if the right tiles start getting drawn. I would have played the... No, I suppose it's Dora. Mind you, I think they could risk Fedora here with a pair of 8s, because that puts you... I think that gives you more options if you do that at this stage. I mean, obviously you can still call it, but given that you've just played Fedora, they'll assume nothing's around that, means the 8's more likely to come out, but you still need to complete this somehow. I guess the odds aren't that much better, but... I don't know. I'm doing nothing. I'm not even watching your game anymore, Mono. Speaking of which, Khan from Sailor. So this might be worth a call here, because it puts you 10 by. Waiting on the 7. It's a bad wait, generally speaking, but I would probably be inclined to go for it. Yep. Oh. Okay, I mean, yes, it makes no difference. I would have just left myself with a 4 discard. Why would you play the 8 there? I mean, I would have left myself with the ability to discard the 1 rather than the 4, based for my Tenpai there, because that would have given you 7 dot only. But, I mean, 7 dot is still fine. If you're in a hand that you can win with, it's always better than not being. Also, I just realised how lucky Kyril got out of that Khan randomly. Jeez. I mean, he's still... what, is that 2 away at this point? But still, he's showing 4 Dora. 5 Dora, sorry. Well, back to 4 now, he's discarded 1, but jeez. Yep, there's his 2 calls and he's got 10 by. A little bit of a bluff weight this one, because I don't see his Yaku otherwise, but I mean, he's showing Dora 4. This is Dora to this is Dora to force a fold. Nobody is going to should attack Dora 4 on board. because you're immediately... I mean, you got to assume you have something. So you got a Yaku of some kind. Most likely Chancer, or a bonus triplet of some kind. So that means it's already Mungan, possibly already Hanneman. You really should not be going for that. Or you really should not be attacking it anyway. No, I agree with that as a bluff, but that's a fine bluff. And yeah. Tiles of confusion. People don't fold enough. Solar is going all in on West Dora 2 against that. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, it's fine. You feel free to play how you want. I'm just looking at this in the eyes of horror and shock. And there's the Ron, which is Honitsu Dragon South. Yeah, honestly, if I am distracting you by commenting 5 minutes in the past, please do mute me. I don't want to ruin your game by observing previous instances and causing doubts on things. It's always this is for reviewing back later rather than necessarily for now interactions, unless you are, you know, willing to do that. I mean, to be fair, I've also played clangers at this point. I mean, I threw a live Dora when I was 4,000 points ahead of second place, leading to a Khan, and then me winning an undeserved 2,000 point hand. That was in context. That was an absolute clanger, given everything going on. But you know, I've definitely made enough plays in this game that are live, videotaped, and recorded for anybody to observe. So you know. Also, I'm afraid to stick him before me. Need to turn voice on again. Alright, well, Solar is looking at... okay, I'm not sure what Solar's looking at there. We'll see if they continue discarding along that pattern, but if they're going for a Kokushi starting at 6, I can tell you now that the odds are not in your favour. Mind you, he could just be clearing out... I'd say he's clearing out loose tiles, but he's discarded a 7 when he has an 8 in hand, so... Oh, jeez. Oh, well, we'll see. I mean, it could work. I mean, you need 7 perfect draws at some point in the next few discards and nobody else to win. And Larry looks to have a really good starting hand here. Ishanten. Riichi and Dora. We'll see. Okay, so Sailor's given up on his Kokushi plan and is just now going for what I'm assuming is a forced Honitsu. Or just Dragon and being 4 from Tenpai. Chiral is looking okay here. 3 pairs, but you can get rid of the 1s in the next couple of turns and just have a nice Tanyo Pinfu hand. So as not to break one of his pairs up for a two-sided weight. Dragon should be fine. I mean, in general Yaku terms, you can always consider it 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000. In kind of the easy way of working it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Han. But in general, if you assume that, you can have a rough idea of what you're supposed to be getting. Obviously, you know the dealer gets half extra, so 1,500, 3,000, etc. But the more specifics about low-end scoring, you'd have to go into Fu and mini points, which does require a chart, at least to try and learn. But the most common hands come to you eventually. It's just putting the initial effort in, I think, which I long resisted putting in initial effort into trying to learn the actual mini point style scoring. I think Solo's just folding, actually, based on what they're doing at this point. Or they're really desperately trying to force that Honitsu. Something like that, yeah. Alright, Karma reaching with a east-west weight. Lowry has the ability to pursue this with Reach, Ipeiko, Pinthu, Dora, which I think is a strong... It's a Mungan weight, so I would be inclined... Oh, he's folded. Oh, he's in a single weight for 5, so he can win off the random 5 and just have Ipeiko, Dora. No, you got to go with this now. I think that improves your hand massively, doesn't it? That gives you what, three-sided weight, 147. No, you give it the 147. Admittedly, I do get that 5 is really bad to get rid of it against that, but now because you haven't reached, Kairos pursued, and now you're in real trouble for trying to win this. Because I don't think you can play the... Well, the 6 is the CG of the Chiral. You might be able to make that work. I don't know if it's safe to Karma, though. Either way, you have to reach with this. You're in the lead, but not by enough to make a difference here. You should be reaching. Okay, decides to time out and just discard it. Solar has drawn Chiral's winning tile. And currently you're time restricted, which is always a terrible position to be in when you're trying to work out what's safe. That's why time management at some levels is really good. 6 dot's not going to be safe, neither is that, so yeah. Oh. And Chiral Summos. I mean, if you could have sniped somebody with a 5, it might have been worth it. But I feel you had a great opportunity to reach with that. You had a Mungan as a pursuit reach, and I think a Mungan pursuit reach is always good enough to go for it. He drew the 1 dot afterwards. After that, he was originally on the a 2-sided pursuit reach for Mungan, and then after he gave that up, he then drew his 147 weight. Oh, you might have been. You were talking about your own, weren't you? Yeah. Yes, of course. Sorry. Sorry, I get invested in who I'm observing. I'm observing you now. I care about your weights of this game. So Chiral takes the lead. Only a 3,000 point lead, so we'll be obviously looking to try and extend that in his last dealer turn. But obviously, if Larry shows any signs of Tempai, then... Well, actually, he's close enough in points that he might still want to force it, but... The onus is on Larry to get a hand at this point. And he is going aggressive. Chiral also, unfortunately, doesn't have any quick ways of forcing this hand into anything. Multiple 1s, 9s, pair of Wests in his opening hand. It's going to take a bit of a while to get to anywhere. The hand itself is only 2 away from Tempai at least, and he could get Ipeiko out of it. Oh, that doesn't mean much. My advice is terrible, and we all know it. Yeah, this is the worst hand to have a slight dealer lead going into your last dealer turn. Especially since you pulled off a pursuit reach from Mungan earlier. That was just... this doesn't feel like a fair reward. Defending by attacking is sometimes worth it, because ultimately, if... I mean, you're safe if it's a Mungan Sumo from either of the other 2 players, with a possible exception of Karma. Actually, where's the gap to Karma? Okay, you are actually still safe to even Karma getting a sumo here. No, actually, no, you're not. No, you're not. Sorry, ignore me. Because it's a 4,000 exchange plus the 8,000 gain, so 12. Yeah, 16 in that case, so yeah. No, actually, sorry, you are safe to that. I can math. That all don't work. That's my excuse. So you are technically safe if he were to Mungan, but it's not a good position to be in. 800 points to go with one hand left. That's no safety margin. But you would also be ahead of Larry by 1,000 points. It just puts 3 people really close in points right at the end. And causes stress. Anyway, Sailor's attacking with his hand. What's Sailor actually got? Technically a two-sided weight for no Yaku. So I guess Solar's on the Khan 9's plan and Rinshan. Eventually Saki could do things. We haven't seen somebody Saki genuinely do pull off a Saki in quite some time. It'll happen one of these days. I want to say the last person to pull off a Saki was me, but I don't know for certain that that's true. Alright, Kama's got his possible Itsu on, although it's a pair of 8s, pair of 7s, so it might be more useful for him to have those as pairs options. But he has Dora, and you're close enough that you need a Hanuman to take the lead in 1. You have no dealer turns coming up, so really you've got to try and make this work. You could try for Chinitsu. The downside with that, of course, is you've got call 7s, call 8s, and then you've got 1 more tile you need. But we'll see. So Kyrill's attacking. He's managed to finally get rid of all of his loose honors and 1s and 9s, and looks like he's still drawing honor tiles, but getting there towards his Tanyo. Tile efficiency is a thing. Okay, so that's the pair of 7s drawn. So this puts you into a 7-8 weight here for just Reach and Dora, I think. Yeah, so this is Reach Dora 1, so this is only going to be worth non-dealer, so 39, I want to say, is your upper limit, and I think 39 is actually the dealer end of it, so... Hold on, let me get a shout out. Rich concealed, so 40 and 2, so I don't think you're getting any more than that, so... Yeah, 40 and 2, 2,600 is all you're getting out of that, unfortunately. I mean... fair. Also, Carol has made his third call after the reach for a hand that is at least tempo. He will probably fold the moment he draws anything that is even slightly dangerous, or he feels is slightly dangerous, because of obviously he doesn't want to lose the point lead to Larry by just dealing it to somebody else. But being in tempo means you can often grab that 1,000 points that would otherwise be lost by him just winning. And Sumo. So, Tanya only. 1,500 points, do the repeats. I mean, with only 3 turns left. Nah, three turns left, I could fold that. I could fold 4 tiles. For the sake of definitely not dealing a live Dora or a live Honor tile, I could fold 4 tiles. True. If you got like 10 turns left, absolutely no chance in hell. You got to go for it. But that close to the end game, I'd probably take it. Anyway, we're no longer interested in Carol's hand. We're interested in Solar's hand for this one. ultimately, you didn't need to worry about that. You didn't draw anything that looked dangerous, and yeah, fine. You got the 1,000 points. Huzzah! I just don't think going Hail Mary on the 1,000 points for nothing in the last 3 discards is worth it. At least not with that kind of point lead. If you had more of a buffer, then you could just say fuck it, we'll be fine. But not likely to happen. Okay, so they're going ultra aggressive here, but and again, I suppose Solar is relying on just grabbing the dealer button and keeping the dealer button. Those are your only 2 options, and apparently he must be doing reasonably well with it because this game is continuing. Mind you, it's only 5 minutes in the future, so. I've done that more times than I care to mention. What's worse is when you do it with a misclick. Accidentally discard your tile you didn't want. You discard your triplet down to a pair, and then immediately get the chance to call it back. It feels terrible, and everyone at the table knows what you've done. Chiral targeting. You have a 6,000 point lead, so I mean, if you can get the 8,000 gap to Larry, that puts you safe to a Mungan from anybody, or at least a Mungan from Larry. I'll see how this goes, but so 7.40. Solar also has a terrible hand at the moment, and that's just a wrong 7. I don't think it's necessarily targeting, unless you mean a future ones. Largely because that was the first instance. So I assume you're talking about this hand then. That can't have been that one. You'd only just hit Tenpai, so that wasn't. That was definitely not baiting. Well, lead is now up to 16k, I think. Just want to quickly confirm the point scores. 15-4. So that means for Larry to overtake, it would require a Hanneman right now. Hanneman Sumo. At least do it in one go. And if you can pass the dealership on, it still would be a Hanneman Sumo to overhaul. Actually, no, would that work? No, it'd only be 15k point exchange. So if the points would exchange now, Kara no longer be a dealer, it would then just be it would then be Byman required. Oh, GG. My god, the bad luck. All right, I'll join in the game here. I'm gonna shuffle the tables around once this game ends, so we'll see who wants to go where. But I will also join in. This is true. I mean, you know, there is sometimes a reason to do some proper targeting. I'm just seeing how. Actually, here we go. So Carol's going to be Tenpai in a couple of draws' time, I imagine, because it wasn't. Well, we'll see. I'm interested to see this instance of baiting here. Okay, has successfully drawn west, so Solar again trying to force a one-suit hand at this point. I mean, Jiu-Jitsu has its merits. I think this is a bit far away from it, in all honesty. Larry E. Shanton up top as well. Is Carol on a rampage? We are potentially about to see some unfortunate justice going on here. Alright, well I will watch the end of these games and then we will shuffle the tables around. No worries, sir. Oh, I mean, that puts your win ratio up to, what, 8 wins in 13? Something like that? What are you actually on? Yeah, 8 wins in 13. Jeez. Okay, Sailor's got an interesting start. If you can get another south here, this might actually be... I wouldn't say comeback hand, but you can go Honroto with this. Just looking around where the other honor tiles currently are. So it looks like south's not going to happen. I mean, I'm looking for obviously big here, because he's on 700 points. So I'm looking for the potential comeback options. With 2 Norths already played, and the 2 Dragons he's already used and gone. Honroto and Honroto seems like the best option here. Would be very nice if we could get a south in, just to, or actually any of those on the tiles. And it looks a little awkward now he's called twice admissingly, but you know, it's got to be done. Okay. Oh, you're just mean, sir. Fair enough. So 2-5, wait. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You're on 700 points. You're not going to worry about safety now. Cut the 9, try and escape route to Chancer, I suppose. 9's not necessarily safe, but he's at least a half CG. Actually, 3 you get to follow on with. There. Yeah, looking at half CG where he's got the direct safe tile in his hand. Actually, 2 of them. No, sure. Oh, that is really unfortunate because he had kept that. That'd given him his second Yaku High escape valve. Oh well. You should have done it. Hey, Debbie. Not too bad. We're just getting the point of shuffling the players around in a little bit. We're just observing the end of this game. I think it's fair. It's amplifying your score. I mean, and the score could matter. I mean, Mono lost 55 points. I mean, come on. You score 50 here, you basically chipped 100 out of him. Take my place. If shenanigans had pulled slightly differently here, this could have been an amazing series of events for Solar, but oh well. It's fine. We're almost at the point of grabbing this back. This is the last hand that I'm just observing before before we reallocate. Yeah, no reason not to. Alright, Dora Dragon Naked Weight, so let's go. It won't work, because Karma and Larry are already out with their white dragons. But there's one more you could draw. One more that you could draw. Although, unfortunately, we know Kyra wins this. Darn spoilers. Ah, well. So, Honroto, Dragon, Dora 2. Yeah, it would have been Hanneman. I think it might go to Byman. I just have... But I mean, it's at that point 12,000. And also to Garaby dealer turn. If it gets to Byman, it's 16,000. Non-dealer. Which, you know, not too bad. Certainly more than acceptable given the positions in there. Because Byman hands are not that common. Alright. So, currently queued up, we have Prospero, Karma, Solar, Mono, and myself. And obviously we will want to try and shuffle the players around a little bit. Okay, so we need one more ideally, and then we will get things started. Any more for any more? Otherwise we're going to have 3 people observing a game. We'll give it some time. If you really don't want to play again, that's fine. We can hopefully find somebody else. I mean, in fairness, we've had about 25, 20... How many people have we got on this? We've had 26 players on this server, so it's out of 26. I mean, to be fair, Kyra got some really bad hands after winning really good hands, in fairness, but part of it is just building around things and going for what you are supposed to go for in those positions. He went for open Tanyas when that was the most efficient thing to go for. He didn't go for mad nonsense like Chinitsu every single hand, even though I get why you would do that in that low position. Given that you're given the point score, you kind of have to. Ouch. Yeah, exactly. In Mahjong, sometimes if the luck is against you, you cannot win. But equally, you have to make your own luck to a certain extent. You have to be able to accept most things. It says 10 online, but we don't currently. You only have currently 7 queued. So, just in the purpose of speeding things up, who would like to play who at this point? I'm obviously going in game 1 because, you know, I deliberately skipped the last game, so I am in this next one regardless. Who would like to play me? Alright, Karma is in. I haven't played Karma today, so that's absolutely fine. Should do a focus game or focus game. I mean, I do ask that people don't have the chat on and at least minimize the window. I mean, you can chat in the text chat all you want. I want to kill off second rank. Let me in. Oh, okay, fair enough. Mono wants to try and take points off me. Absolutely agreeing with that under most circumstances. All right, so one more. I'm gonna go D20 here. So 1 to 5, Prospero. 6 to 10, Solar. 11 to 15, Debbie, and 16 plus will be Rise. Okay, it is Debbie at this point, so that is the game, and when we have one more person, we will start that game off. I'll also just... Actually, no, it's just slightly shuffled. Alright, we ready? Let's begin. But yes, we do need one more. One more, please. We have 17 people watching. Surely we have one person willing to play a game. Alright, starting north. One Dora, Possibilitsu. My kind of hand. Yeah, it happens. It's fine. It's a ladder you can climb. North hasn't been played yet. We'll risk it. Experience, practice, and we just drew Dora. I guess we got the north now. I'm starting to think the Possibility might not be what this hand is going to do. Yep, much prefer the closed weight to include Fedora. And a Possibility, which is still a little unlikely. But hey, we can draw a 7 and gives us a double run. Good draw. Okay. Hand's developing. Operation stay ahead of mono in the points is a way here. I mean, actually, how many points of gap was it? It was 179 before we started. So if I win and mono finishes last, I think I might actually overhaul him. Oh, live white. This is my time to risk it, but we'll hold off. Okay. So the only middle tile indicator is going to be that. I think I'm going to play the 1 here. It's possible one I want Sozi, but he hasn't played any middle tiles after that Khan. So it might be a Khan hoping for Tenpai rather than a Khan that's in Tenpai. Either way, we'd have to cut the live white to do it. We're still 2 away, so we can't really go for it at this point, but... yeah, gonna cut the 8-6. Would have been better if we could have cut the 4 there, but I feel 4 is a little dodgy against Mono. That being said, Mono has just released the White Dragon, so Mono has to be Tenpai. Tanyo attack from Karma. We're going to follow up that white, though. And deal in. Tanyo only. Which, against Khan and Tudora of the same type being shown, no objections to that whatsoever. Okay. Game on. If it ends like this, then we go into West round, because we get, unfortunately, a West is required. But, you know. Still taking points out of mono. Okay, this is a strong start. One-offs. So we can draw a free man that gives us a 1-4-7 pattern over here. It's just then trying to complete this. It's also a possibility if we do that, we got a possible Sanchku. I'm going to follow up white now. We see one red, so white is clearly what we want to get rid of here. Just thinking what's most likely going to be called. Should also consider that 7 has just been played by Debbie, but should be fine for a turn or two. I've got no real tempo indicators from Mono or Karma yet, or Debbie herself actually. Ooh, good draw. Okay, Tudora. Tudora and potential options. We still, however, need that Friso. Friso, free man, please. South's not helpful, but we might as well throw for 7 now because it's a loose tile and gonna get more dangerous the longer we keep it. And Mono has just played 2-5. Also played an 8, so probably just culling useless tiles from one suit. Ishanten, most likely, I would think. Maybe not. That came from the hand as well. But we know they're safe for the moment. Alright, come with another attack. I think I'm going to force it now. Because if I hold on to it, I'm just not going to be able to discard it. And Karma did play the 2 after the call, so given that it's just the 1, that's probably a closed weight to allow a proper 2-sided weight. That is a great draw. Alright, Ishanten. Game on. Risking the 5, though, for the 3-sided weight and the Sanchku would be awkward, but we could do it. Reach Sanchku Tudora. Two would be fine, giving us a irregular 2-4-7 weight. Again, they would have to cut the 5. Maybe I should be cutting the 5 now. But the downside is I could also draw a 5 and just go into a tempo with that. 9 played by 2 players. Reach with a 7. Okay, passed. I was kind of hoping for a 7 pursuit there, because if Karma had played a 7, I could have called that and taken it. In the meantime, Mono goes Riichi past the Sumo. And has Dora. Darn. Oh well. Okay. Also, okay. Shame it's an alien wind, but... Okay, I need some thinking time with this one. I think we go with Norse. That is just unfortunate, but hey. Alright, Green Dragon we can play. Guess there's a marginal upside to keeping the 899 over the 8. Well, we're giving out double tom, but we have so much Dora. No hand that we can easily make out with it. Well, I think that answers what we're doing here. Because likelihood is we're going to have to play one of these anyway, but that's fine. 4-7 still gives us on, still puts us en route. We can play a red dragon because we know that's safe. We can play a green dragon. We know that's safe. Forso is not going to be safe against that Riichi. But we now have 2 more safe tiles. Well, we've had a flurry of big hands. I'm going to end up in last with this, I think. Riichi pin through red 5 and 2 Ura, so Mungan. So I'm on about to 28. It's now a 30k game again, but we are in last. We need to actually win hands. We've had some opportunities. It's just not come together for us at this point. Still, 6,000 from the lead. I would take that going into my first dealer turn. And now it's a case of whether we can actually move this into Tanya or Pinfu or whatever. Okay, we can follow up green. Okay, good draw. So potentially cutting this, hopefully building off of this somewhat. Reasonable route to pin to, at least. Which, given that we're dealer, we'd take a cheap pin through right now. Alright, door on turn 6. Could have kept that, but we'd already tossed the 3. We have nothing related to it, so... I guess we got the 9s here. If we drew a 4 or 7, that puts us back onto just having double, and we can use this as our pair, but I think for the moment we lean to Tanyo, because that might be slightly easier on us. We could have got rid of a loose 5 there, and maybe that was correct to do so, but... Alright, don't play 7-3 from our hand. That's gonna be close, so I'm gonna play it now. So I think given a turn or two, Debbie could reach, and that would put us in a bit of problems trying to get rid of that 5. Yeah, she's played 7-3 Dora. She's got to be close. Ishanten at best. At worst, really. Well, safe Dora. Good news is we know all the hands are going to be relatively cheap with that. I guess there's still red 5s out, but... No, we have options for trying to first force a Tanyo now. Late dealer call. Couldn't make people fold. We know 3 is probably safe to most people. Fortunately, if I'm going to make a call, it's going to be one that's actually going to advance the hand. I know 3 and safe are both safe to Karma, so we can at least work around that. The 1 dot's annoyingly the one that we're not sure on. Because that was call followed by 2. So they could be opening up a 2-2-3 of some description. Dear God. Alright, we'll play that. Known safety against random risk. Unfortunately, one of us picked up a big hand or a weird dealer. Well, this is not going well. Alright, south to go. Let's hope for improvements. Yay. Pair of East in the south round. Perfect. I wouldn't mind a rest reset, but we don't have the West in our own hand. And Karma wasn't playing. have too many pairs, really. That being said, let's get rid of the opening wins now. I was briefly entertaining 7 pairs style shenanigans here, but we'll get rid of the opening pairs and see where we are after that. Still need to discard these on its house. That's where we are. And unfortunately, passive play is putting us in last place right now. Yep. Give Mono a chance to come back. There he is. Alright, we're still looking at 3 people currently in the queue at this point. Although the 3 people have changed. Hello, demo. Okay, we have Suanko as well joining us in, so we have our 4. Alright, let's get going. Meanwhile, we're at Ishan's in for not a lot. I suppose if we draw a 6, then we could probably risk the 7 and go for a Pinfu. So Riichi Pinfu and hope for Sundora. Onitsu as well. Jeez. Well, I think it had to be attempted, and at the very least we cut Mono's dealer turn off. So now we need to recover 22,000 points. Alright, let's go risky. Not sure how risky we're going to go at this point, but we're going to go for it. No, Mono has decided that that she must cut all attempts at greed. And in fairness, from her lead position at the moment, well, how far? Oh, darn it, I can't check the points score here, but it's basically 10,000 ahead of the other 2, so another couple of short wins puts her among and distance ahead, so double Yaki High and discards the middle Dora. No, Mono's in Tenpai, and I've got a pair of 3s I want to get rid of. Unfortunate. The time is not now. I can play the East at least and see what happens. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to play around this. I've got to assume Tenpai based on the middle 5 discard in the middle after the second call, so... Hope to draw something connected to Fedora, and then hope to draw other things. Alright, Hanitsu it is then. So Hanitsu or a bluff. Yeah, it was a bluff. Alright, gap to mono now up to ridiculous levels. But it's not insurmountable yet. 2 hands to go, 24. This is doable. Tossing a pair, though, when you have a 7 pairs starting hand is not ideal. Well, honestly, we just need mono to deal into somebody right now. Okay, Dora Dragon's safe. We'll probably play our loose dragon in a little bit, but I got possible options here. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to go for the Honitsu here. Dragon Honitsu, get ourselves some points on the board. Give ourselves a fighting chance from a dealer button. Well, 7s are less likely now, and there's only one 1-dot left. Well, pursuit reach, but I think we got to still go for this. And he could be in a 1-4 based on his weight. See, I don't think he wants a 6. Early 7 should be fine. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Well, this is going to have to be one hell of a comeback from this. 40,000 points to make up is a lot in the last dealer turn, but hey, if we keep winning. Well, luck seems to be in, at least somewhat. 2 away. Well. No, I guess it's not 2 away, 3 away. Oh no, it would be Shanton at this point. If we can draw 3 or 6, it's Shanton. Preferably 3 for the 2-sided weight. It would be Riichi 2-sided. It would be Riichi only, but, you know. At this point, whatever we can do. No carnage available, unfortunately. This is just a Riichi only. Unless other people willing to count for me, that would always be appreciated. Didn't Ipatsu. Last chance of value is gone. It's whether they'll notice the pause on the 3 dot, which might prevent other people playing it. Well, we'll see. Oh, somebody want to attack this? Apparently not. I'd almost get more points from a draw here, but unfortunately with Karma's call, it's not looking like this is going to get to a draw. Debbie also has just played a green, live green. Obviously we knew it was fine, but that's probably an indicator that she's in tempo. And if she is, then that's really bad for us. So 17,000 behind anybody else at this point. That being said, Tatars have been reasonably cheap. Alright, reach only, unless I get some Ura. I didn't. 2,000 points to start. Alright, that's 1. Just a few more of those and we might actually get somewhere. Pair of whites. Dora, Honitsu. So we need an early white dragon, we need an early 9-man here. But we clearly got to get all in with this. Unless we compare that, of course. We don't have to go all in, of course. But we probably are. 1 south blade. One step back. Alright, we see 2 south, so we're going to have to get rid of ours. Honitsu's worth 2, but obviously we do have a Dora here, so we'll consider that as part of any plan. We also do have the ability to do some carnage if, well, at least I'm a 9 now. White's already been played as the least thing, but carnage is an option, although... Nice, okay. Ishanten. White Dragon Door 2. Toy Toy also an option now, but I don't think we're going to go for Toy Toy with this. No choice. We're going to gung-ho this last green dragon if it comes to it, but... But we can't afford to fold from this position, unfortunately. Darn it, Mono. Alright, Mono, I think that was a deliberate deal in there, which is annoying, because I mean, I was miles from a comeback in all reality, but that secures me into 4th. Grumble, grumble. Alright. That undoes any of my gains, probably undoes any of Mono's losses, so we're exactly where we started, I think. Well, GG. I did practically nothing all game. Let's have a quick check on how the other game is going, but I'm probably going to go and do another one. Oh yeah, I'll be matchmaking now, of course. I will play one more if we get 4 people ready. It might even be the same 4. We'll see. So, Prospero currently looking like picking up his 5th win in 6 games. Yeah, he's definitely going to be there or thereabouts if he keeps that pace up. Solar, 2nd place, Demo, 3rd. They're in East for East. They're nowhere near ending at this point. So we just need one more, really, and then we'll have another game going on, which currently looks like it's just going to be the same game. So it gives Mono an opportunity to kick while I'm down. Also, is the chat working? Because I don't think it's been updating in quite some time. I certainly remember that conversation being there when I actually started that game. Yeah, okay. So it is updating, so I can see it on my screen here, but I can't actually... My pop-out window is not updating, so I'm going to have to just quickly swap that back in. Bear with. There we go. No, I've not seen any chat since the start of that game. Alright, still needs one more. Whoops. Oh, also, for those interested, secrets. But we will not speak of those secrets. There possibly even are no secrets. Alright. Oh, no. This was, you either know it or you don't, based on certain pointers. But no, that's something else that I do occasionally, that I might be doing again. Yes, Karu, you did see information not available for your clearance level. Okay, Mono is called pause on our game. That's fine. Mono's called for a pause anyway, so... But yes, I might be running another Paranoia session. I have certainly set up some characters. Oh. But yeah, I might be doing another live thing. We'll see if I get enough people. If I get interested peoples and those interested peoples are available at roughly the same time, and the story I've come up with is much shorter than the Hyper Train, we'll get something going with that. But indeed, secrets. Honestly, I wish I could, but I've moved since then, lost all my notes, and in all honesty, we've actually even lost the third recording of it because Twitch is 14-day and you lose it system, which is another reason why I should probably stay on YouTube. Oh well, I mean it's fine, but we will continue and we'll see. Did you get away with your cannibalism? I believe you did. I don't think anybody recorded it, and those who were around weren't in a position to really punish you for it, so... apparently not. Because I think I thought I set it up like that, but, hey. Treason! Zzz. Oh, no. This is from the last session I ran, which honestly was before I got moved into this place, and also we did still lose the session in the recording, because I actually recorded it over a stream, so... Which I'd be open to doing again, but we'll see. Anyway, I should concentrate on the game, because I have points to try and make up here. The exact opposite result happened, because if it had gone the other way around, if I had gained 50, Mono had lost 40, I'd have actually probably overtaken him, or at least been really close to doing so. But no, I'm planning a new session at some point in the future. I don't exactly know when at this stage, depending on who's around. But yeah, Carol Deb, if you're interested, you're more than welcome as always. And I'll probably just start poking random people and seeing if they'll be interested in being players 5 and 6. If you're not interested and just want to watch, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, we'll have some fun. We'll shoot up some treasons, and we'll hack it as well. I don't think Paranoia deals in zoology. Except for identifying what the proper clone shape is, and then imprisoning, torturing, dissecting, and most importantly, terminating all of the others. Unless the squirrels have taken over, in which case, fine. Robot human traitor, exactly. But anyway, I need to win this game, so focusing. Good draw. It's a late red dragon risk, I'll be honest, but could have been worse. Kama could have just won with that. So definite Tenpai going on now. One's safe against him, so we can play both of those and hopefully get to Tenpai in the meantime. No. Squirrels have definitely not taken over Alpha Complex. And I think we need to rewire the brain to make sure you are fully aware about that. Okay. We'll risk things. We might end up risking the 3 with this draw. We'll see. In fact, we're definitely going to risk it now we know it's safe, but I was probably going to risk that for the Shanton anyway. Citizen, I do not recognize this sector bar Sing Se, though I hear it's great. Obviously not as great as the Alpha Complex, of course, but, you know, what is? Well, Mono has again started the game by dealing into what looks like a reasonably cheap hand. This didn't work out too well for me last time, but you know what? We'll take any start we can get at this stage. Okay. When you draw a hand with 11, I think you have to go for it, even though 4 of them are pretty unrelated to anything. We'll see. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, I'm probably not going to commit to... I think we're still going to play a normal game here and we'll just see what happens, but... If I paired that up, I think we got to go for it. Yeah, let's be bold here. We were too passive in the previous game, so we're going to start playing aggressively for points. Put the pressure on other people for a bit. So anything on the 147 octave would be awesome. Should probably get rid of this next, but we'll see. I'm still half hoping I can draw a pair of them, another pair of them. Because that would give me the definite I don't have to rely on a dragon weight. But I guess we're being on it, so we don't have to anyway. Oh, fair enough. You're just going to play one. Oh, we're in. I saw the white dragon, so I was going to play out that. Because otherwise I was just relying on getting the pair. And as it turns out, it wouldn't have happened with that anyway. No, we're in. We're saving 8 for a safe tile. This one is a bit more risky, so that's the next thing. But 8 looks relatively safe on the board. I see. No, absolutely not. And yeah, damn right I'm folding against this. If it helps, I don't want to. But we still have to get the 7 dot to pass. We'd still have to get the 6, which... 6 might pass. I'm not sure on the 7. I think we've got to fold it. I don't want to, but I think that's got to be done. Reach. Fine. This is grandstanding. We're going to have some bannings. Nope, that's Debbie going for it. Damn it. Yeah, I just can't against that. Free calls and a reach on the board. Not a lot of definite safe tiles anyway. Really didn't want to have to do that, but I feel... Nah, Mono sniped it. What were you on? 147? Yep. I have to review that and just find out what Debbie was on in the end, but Toy Totoro 4, we were definitely not going against that. Grumble, grumble. Alright. East 2. Second place, oddly. What do you mean not this again? This is entirely what we do again. We just have people winning. At least we have people carning. Alright, enough of this. I mean, Carning Dora is good to plan usually, as long as it actually can be done within your hand state, which it seemed to be in that case. Shanten. I mean, it was a reasonable Tenpai bluff, I guess. Go on him. Nope, wasn't on the Honitsu. Alright, Dragon and Dora. Don't give me anything, it doesn't really. So I think the 8 is more likely than the 6, and usually it is. We see 2 5s, we're going to go with this. Also CG trapping. We discarded 2 parts of the octave. What's the chances I need the 3rd? None. Absolutely none. Null and void. Oof. Yeah, not good, Sailor. Oh, we can follow up. Nobody's interested in Middle Sozu. Or at least nobody is apparently interested in Middle Sozu. Karma has got to be... Actually, no, Karma hasn't discarded any dot tiles, so Karma's probably in a dot Honitsu, and that probably means they're holding my 8s. Fuck it. It's a poor choice. Oh dear, I think I'm done for the day, in all honesty. So, I promise you I'm having it worse. There are red 5s in this version of the game, though. Alright. No worries. Oh, also, hold on. Why have you done that? Oh dear. Clearly we have to cancel the match. Mono's no longer here. It's not you we're waiting on, it's Mono, actually. Right, quick check on Discord. No, he's back. Alright, there we go. West does nothing. Alright, 2 doors south. Okay, we can work with this. So at least puts us back into potential contention, if nothing else. Over there. Yeah, I think I've got to go for it. Deal a button as a reward for victory here, so we got to attack this. Alright, Ishanten. Of course. And 8's risky, so 6 is risky. 4 might come out of mono if he decides to fold here. We'll see. Alright, 5 so. CG trap. And the 8 was played earlier, so there's an outside chance that happens. Don't think it does. Don't think it will, but if mono seems I'm a Honitsu, which in fairness I've gotta be here. Gotta be with that, surely. Then the 5 could come out as a safety tile to both, but problem is I'm suicide running to do this, and I'm probably gonna deal in sooner or later. Yeah. Oh, do I have the ability to reach? Nope, that's game. Well, GG. I'm calling it a night there. Mono, enjoy your 200-point lead, and I will call that a stream for the moment. I'll tally up the points, and we'll see how things go. Until the next time, folks.